Hey there, I just wanted to give you guys a campaign update. Um, so I think we're just right at 2 weeks out. So we are 11 days from Election Day. And I've been in Allen the last weekend I was in Allen and I was in Shelton at the Bite of Shelton. And I've been running all over the place. Honestly, I was way up north today. And I've been doing all these events. I overbooked myself a little bit today. Got back a little bit earlier than, well, that's not necessarily true. So we had another event pop up today that we would have liked to attend, but we didn't get a chance to make it over there because we booked up a little too. We had a little too much going on. We were trying to do too much, um, and we don't really. I mean, it's basically just we're out and about and the driving. We get so far out, it's like, well, we might as well do the loop, try and fit everything we can in. The district's pretty big. I don't know if you guys noticed. I dropped the Internet Bill of Rights on Facebook the other day. I've been working on that a very long time. I was waiting for a couple cases to drop so that I could finish, tying it together. If you guys also look, I dropped the shipyard bill that I had been writing on boat building and stuff, and I was waiting to hear a few announcements on the White House for what they planned on doing with some of the budgeting and stuff. So I was able to do it the right way. The shipyard bill I wrote is based a lot with state help, assuming the local state legislators and stuff would be on board with it. If not, I have another path that does the same identical thing, but through a federal lens. So we don't need the state to go along with it. But either way, that's the end result. The state one, it's a little cleaner. I don't have to do as much heavy lifting. That's about it. I had a good conversation today with one of the gentlemen that's running for office out in out in Aberdeen. He's running for a commissioner. His name is Gordon, and I talked to him for quite a while. It looks like he probably will be advancing past. If I were you guys, I would, if you live out this way, definitely give him a look. He's an ex-Marine, older cat. We talked for about an hour and a half, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. And I explained to him, basically how it would go with federal grants and the kind of assistance I could give him and the assistance he could give me on building some of the youth centers, especially the JRO2 reforming all that mess into youth schools and trade schools instead of just prisons where they sit around in their underwear all day and don't learn anything. Uh, and we can deal with a lot of the drug problems and the mental health problems all in that same scope and atmosphere. He's had experience in that. Um, so we would work well together, I think, if that combination unfolds. That's going to be up to the voters. So we'll see how it all goes after the next couple weeks. We have a very low turnout, so I think Marco has done something that fixed something with the voter rolls and things like that. Uh, so the counties are coming in really light, like really light, on a few of them, and then Pierce is surging really hot. So I don't know. Maybe maybe there's funny business going on. Maybe not. We'll see. We're just gonna have to see. We've been gaming it from the beginning as if there was just gonna be funny business. So that's the one variable when we put in our numbers and stuff is we don't have the funny business variable. We with everything we can control, we know pretty much that when we think we're succeeding. In the past, the numbers that came in did not reflect the numbers that we thought were out there, and I think a lot of that has to do with artificial injection. But we'll see. We have a pretty good base, and our base is solid through the last 3 or 4 elections. They seem to always show up, which is great. And if you guys do that this time, if you guys just show up this time, the math says we win. And right now, the turnout's so low that the base is going to decide it. So if you guys come out, it looks like we're there. If we get big spikes, you guys know how it is. If you get the big spikes after the fact, what does any of it matter, right? We can only do what we can do. We can try. We're running it. We're doing a good campaign. We've gone out. We've got good policy. We've been running on the merits of what we do. Um, been working a long time on it. We have a lot of good business working right now, and I've got some important things going on with DCYF and the Department of Licensing. I think a lot of people understand that it's important that I win because I have good work going and I got a lot of momentum on things that need to get done. Um, I feel like anyone else is going to be starting from scratch, and they're just not going to be able to get it done. That, I mean, and I understand that's unfortunate for other people running and things like that, but this is serious business and it needs to get done. And with DCYFFraud.com and my history with the Department of Licensing and registering these illegals, I basically know where the bodies are at. I know what legislation we need to unwind these messes that we're in. That's important. I think that's why I'm getting a lot of Democrat support. I think that's why you're seeing a lot of silence from everyone else. We obviously had the Rhino Republican county parties in a few of the counties. Just, you know how it is. If you're not willing to bend to their will, if you don't want to sign up with their somewhat radical programs, they're just not going to endorse you. But a lot of the counties did. We have a lot of endorsements. We don't brag about our endorsements. We're too busy for that, honestly. So it's like, if you find someone whose foundation is who's endorsing them, you better check yourself, because you got to ask yourself, well, whose legislation are they going to push? Whose legislation are they going to sell for you? It's not theirs, unless they're like me and they're writing the legislation and actually putting it on paper to go sell it. They don't have a mechanism to sell the product. They have no product to sell. That's the problem that a lot of people have. As I show that contrast, I'm one of the congressmen that's actually going to come to work and actually write all the legislation that all these other congressmen that get elected have to sign on, because they're all sitting there waiting for someone to bring them something because they don't write it. So it's like you lead, you follow, or you get out of the way. You either elect someone that's going to write the legislation and lead, or you're going to get a follower or someone that just doesn't engage with any of it. So you have to ask yourself, do you want someone that's looking for someone else's work to sign on to, or do you want someone drafting the work that's looking for support, outreaching for support on the actual coherent merit? Because if you look at it in that lens, you'll realize that there's not a lot of people out there writing the legislation. So at some point, the people stopping the one person that can get into office and actually do that are not doing a service at that point, if you know what I mean. And I think a lot of the people on the inside understand that. And if I don't get in there to write this legislation, no one's going to get in there to write this legislation. So I'm going to be writing legislation for the entire country, because if you look, you're going to see that it's a bunch of people waiting for someone like me to come along and write the legislation. So let that sink in. I'm the one selling a product. I'm the only one that has anything to bring to the table that can get it done. And I've already been started on it for 10 years. So let's not let all the people that are trying to escape accountability derail us with their fake news. And let's hope they got the votes fixed and have faith. And at the end, Romans 13, God wins, right? There is no higher authority than God. So thank you guys, and thanks for all your support. And look for us at americafirstwa.com, and we'll see you later.